You back.
Oh, may God forgive me. It's the only way. I've shot you, Jean. I've shot you. Oh, she's here beside me. The woman in black. Oh, give away. Give away. Give away.
Come on, Miss Fallon. I want to hear more about this woman who laughed. This ghost.
Oh, please don't ask me any more questions now. I'll go up to that operating room again, Captain Elton. Make sure that Jean's going to live. I only shot him to stop him.
You stopped him, all right.
Oh, here's a doctor at last. Oh, doctor.
It's all right, Miss Fallon. We've taken the bullet out of Trooper Hardy's shoulder, and he'll be up and around again in just a few days.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
And also Jean's tough constitution. Now, that's off your mind. Will you please tell me exactly what happened at the Crossroads tonight?
I'll answer all your questions now.
What I've already heard has made me very curious. Sit down, Doc. It's your office and your hospital. Go ahead, Miss Fallon. Let's hear all about that laughing, appearing, and disappearing woman. If I were you, Captain, I'd withhold my judgment a while. The Trooper Hardy has been babbling about the phantom woman under the ether. Under ether, people don't lie. He's been repeating over and over that he couldn't help himself.
He couldn't. Somehow she made him want to kill me. But he loved me. That love was stronger than her power. He had time to warn me.
So you obligingly shot him?
Yes.
Then the woman reappeared again?
Yes, beside me. And she laughed. She laughed horribly. And then, as I looked at her, she just wasn't there.
A woman dressed in black, you say?
Yes. A dress all folds that might have been a shroud. And her face was like the dead, but with an awful purplish tinge as if she'd been strangled. Around her throat there was a heavy rope that dangled to the ground. Oh, God, I'll see her till the day I die.
I don't believe in ghosts. You just shot one of my troopers. I don't care if you were engaged to marry him. That's enough, Captain.
What?
I'm boss inside the walls of this hospital. And this girl is in no physical condition to stand your third degree. Besides, I think she's telling the truth.
The truth?
Why not? We can't call a thing a lie simply because we don't understand it. And have you any better explanation than we've heard for the tragedy at those old crossroads?
You don't think anything supernatural?
I think something that has lived beyond the span of ordinary human life is responsible. Remember those almost forgotten cases the newspapers have searched out? The man who was stabbed there in 1865? That other chap in the early 1900s? One of the reporters told me they'd discovered several more crossroads stabbings in the records. A peace officer was killed there in Andy Jackson's time. And a member of the watch was stabbed when Washington was president.
Oh, policeman.
By Jove. I hadn't thought of it just in that light. Miss Fallon, you say the phantom woman had a rope round her neck?
Yes, a thick rope tied with a heavy knot.
A hangman's rope. And at the crossroads in the early days, criminals were hanged and buried.
What's that got to do with it?
Maybe a lot more than you think. Excuse me, Captain. Move a chair aside so as I can get to that bookcase.
What?
I want to find something. Something I've read and more than half forgotten. Policemen, officers of the law. They've been the only ones to die at those crossroads where a gallows tree once stood.
Oh, that's a coincidence.
But you must admit a strange coincidence. Here's the book. An old history of this county.
History?
Here it is. I knew I read it somewhere. Look.
What is it, Doctor?
I'll read it to you. Listen. On that 13th day of August, 1721, by order of the King's Governor, a gibbet of good, stout oak had been erected at Berkeley Crossroads. That's the old name of our place, Captain Elton.
Go on reading.
And there the criminal, Goody Fairfax, was taken, still protesting her innocence of the foul crimes which had juries her peers...
No, I swear that I'm innocent. The officers have lied.
Hold more tightly on her, Peter, so I can fix this rope round her scrawny neck.
Let me go. You cannot kill me.
She wriggles like an ear. Wait no more time. Fall to the beam.
Oh, no, I have done no murder. Have mercy. I am innocent, I swear.
Hey, you've had a fair trial, old dame, and been found guilty. Then soon for your crime you'll be buried in the soil of infamy, here beneath this gallows tree.
Nay.
Hey, so all you pass may spit upon your grave.
I not suffer that, I won't.
Ah, the rope's fast at last. All is ready, my lord sheriff. When you give the word. Quiet! Our lord the king's high sheriff speaks.
Nay, I who am about to die this unjust death will speak. Hear me, ye officers of so-called justice, who have decreed this fate for me. As I die innocent of crime, I vow to return from death the murderer ye to hang me for. As ye officers of blind law do visit death on me, so I shall visit death on you, with no more sense of right or pity. You mean to bury me beneath this gibbet, in unhallowed ground, away from God. Whilst I remain away from God, beware. Beware, I warn ye, for not even death will stay my hate. I shall return to bring ye death, ye officers of law.
Bring her on! Pull on the rope! Aye! She goes!
I shall return to bring you death. I shall return.
And so, still screaming her threats of ghostly vengeance, the murderess Goody Fairfax was hanged to death. Then the old account goes on. Her body was cut down from the gallows and buried underneath it at Berkeley Crossroads.
The haunted Crossroads.
Captain Elton, whether or not you believe in ghosts, it might be a kindly thing if you search for Goody Fairfax's grave, and if you find it, to place her restless bones in hallowed ground. A kindly thing and a wise thing. I haven't got over it yet. There were human bones, a woman's bones, buried beneath those crossroads.
I knew you'd find them if you only persisted in the search.
He persisted, all right, making us troopers do the digging with me on double shift. Fine way to treat a man only a week out of hospital.
And a newly married man.
Oh, I thought that was a good way for you to earn your sergeant stripes.
Sergeant Stripes?
Yeah, here's your warrant.
Captain Elton.
I had to make you two crazy ghosts here some kind of a wedding present. And this didn't cost me anything.
Oh, how can we ever thank you?
Be happy. And Kathleen, let that first shot you had at your husband be the last.
Well, that's the end of that one, Satan. You folks come see us again on me birthday. We'll have another cheerful yarn to spin ye.